So, hi guys, hi, how are you all? So, I'm Harshraj here from LetsUpgrade. I work here as lead of operations over here. So, someone just give me a huge noise in the comment section that I am fully audible. Just let me know in the comment section that I am audible. Waiting for your comments. So, those who know me, hi. For after we are meeting and after long and long time, and so those who don't know me, so yes, I mostly stay backstage of the Let's Upgrade. Okay. So today I'll be introducing this course to you, mainly what is going to happen, what are the key points which you need to take care and all. But before that, so yes, just let me know in the comment that I am audible. Let's say a website OP in the comment. So okay, yes, I got the confirmation. So great, guys. So how are you? How are you all? How are you doing? And where are you from? So just let me know in the comments like how are you and where are you from? Great. Yes, great. So I can see all the comments. Yes. Okay. Great. So guys, where are you from? Where are you from? So I am right now in Mumbai. Okay. So Hyderabad, Bangalore, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh. Nice. Pune, Karnataka, Bihar, Chennai, Jodhpur. Nice. So see, all over the India. Now you can be friends among yourself, right? All over the India, people are over here studying. So responsive website, how we are going to build a responsive website. Okay, guys. Okay. Great. Gujarat, Afghanistan. Oh, Afghanistan, Ghaziabad. Great. I got that thing. So we'll take these things ahead. I won't bore you for much. So we have an amazing trainer. I will say most demanded trainer in Let's Upgrade. Saurabh sir here with us, who is going to take whole session. So Saurabh sir, can we see you?
Hello, sir. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Hi, sir. Good evening. So, what to say about Saurav, sir? I'll just say one thing. So, he represented Team India in coding. And trust me, guys, it is very difficult because there is no Google support, there is no Stack Overflow support over there, and you need to build a code. So, he was there representing India over there. So, and he is a very dynamic trainer. People love them training from him. So, Saurabh, sir, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. So, my name is Saurabh, and by profession, I'm a full stack developer, and I also teach and Let's Upgrade. So, I can see a lot of familiar names actually, so they might be knowing me. So, for all the new people, I'm going to take your 3-day essential responsive website course. So, I'm really excited, and I can't wait to teach you everyone. So, just let me know in the chat, guys. Are you guys excited for this course? Because we are going to see how to make websites for desktop as well as tablet as well as mobile just by using HTML and CSS. So everyone, please let me know chats. Are we guys excited for this session? Everyone?
I am so very excited, sir.
Me too.
Great, sir. So yes. Okay, sir. No issues. So we'll yes. I can see now responses over there in the chat. Great. So guys, we'll take this ahead. I'll give you few instructions and then I'll leave. So then the whole session will be over to Saurabh sir. So before moving to instruction, just check quickly in the chat that your friends are there or not. If they are not, go and share the link. Bring them in the chat. Okay. So जैसे हम क्लास में जाते हैं ना, we find our friends, right? So basically same rule over here. So if your friends are not there, go and share the link. Otherwise, all the description all the links, everything like registration, everything there will be there. It will be there in the description box below. So those who are seeing it from the mobile phone, there will be a down arrow where you can go and check the all the links. And those who are seeing it from the web, there will be a see more option. Okay, go and check all the links, all the requirement details will be there in the description. Okay, so I'll move towards the instruction. The very first instruction is that if you have not registered for the course till now, go and register it on our website. Go, the links will be there in the description, because the other instruction which I am going to give, it is dependent on your registration. So only and only if you are registered, the other things will get counted. Okay, the second instruction is about the certificate. So there are two certificates which we are going to give. Okay, so one is participate certificate and one is completion certificate. Okay, so if you guys have already studied JavaScript like few days back from Saurabh sir, you might already know. If you are not, no issues. So there will be two certificate. So how you can get a participant certificate? You need to mark all the attendance, like 3 days attendance, and you are eligible for the participation certificate. Second, if you mark all the attendance, if you clear all the assignments and projects which is given by Saurabh sir, then you will be eligible for the completion certificates. Now what is the benefit of completion certificate? Firstly, you will get a hard copy delivered at your home. Okay, and then you will be have lot more advantages, like there are refer coins, there are so many things. So you will be getting everything from everything in a mail. You will be getting all the informations over there. Okay, so and as if you complete the JavaScript, if you complete the website, if you complete the React basic course which is going to come, so again Saurabh sir will guide you like how beneficial it can be for your further career, or how that value or that certificate gets valued in your career. Okay, talking about certificate, yes, it is from Let's Upgrade. It is affiliated by ITM, NSDC, and Skills India. So this is a short information what I wanted to give, and I hope everything is clear. So just let me know in the yes, just let me know in the comment section that is everything cleared. Sir, was I audible all the time? Sorry, sir, you're mute. You're mute.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, sir. You were audible all the time. I can hear you properly.
Great. Yes. Okay. Okay, so all the things, all the guidance, like how to join in the community, everything will be there in the description. Everything will be given. All the details are there. Go and check the description. Go and register yourself. Mark all your attendance. Complete all your assignments and projects, and get the certificates. Okay, okay, guys. So I'll hand it over to Saurabh sir. Saurabh sir, all the very best for this course. Actually, you don't need it, right?
No, sir. I need it. I always need it.
Great. Okay, sir. So I'll hand it over to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Bye,
Okay, sir.
guys.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir. Bye
sir.
bye. Paridhi, can you please share my screen? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, let's go. So, hello, everyone. Good evening, guys. Good evening, and welcome to the 3-day essential session of responsive web design, where we are going to learn how to make websites responsive. That means how to make websites that can look good in desktop, that can look good in tablets, and that can also look good in mobile phones. Okay, so that's what we're going to learn by just using HTML and CSS. Okay, so now if you remember, like I think when we started the session of HTML and CSS, that time I told you you can like follow along everything and you can learn all the basics, right? So we completed HTML and CSS zero to hero, then we completed JavaScript, and now we are on to responsives. So I hope that you guys are following along, because again, like I think some people are asking about prerequisite. So the prerequisite for this particular course is nothing. It's simple. It's just HTML and CSS. So if you know basic HTML, if you know basic CSS, that much is enough. So please, everyone, let me in the chat. Do we guys know HTML and CSS? At least the fundamentals, at least the basics. Everyone in the chat, guys, please tell me. So I can also see some new faces here. So please, everyone, tell me, do we know basics of HTML and CSS? Because that is the only thing you need here. no programming knowledge, nothing. We are just going to use HTML and CSS to make our websites responsive. That's it. Okay. And guys, don't worry about the attendance and everything. The links are in the chat, so you can just go on the link. And also, please join the group. That group link will be shortly in the chat, so you can join the group so that you can get all the files that I create here and the assignment questions. Okay. So we are simply going to start with very basics. Okay. Okay, I can see few people are saying no here for a basic of the HTML and CSS. Okay, so for everyone saying no, I would like to suggest you one thing. Okay, I think few days back, maybe 3 or 4 days back, we did a HTML and CSS essential course. So I would like to like go there and watch that thing. Okay, and then you can understand this again. So watch it today and then just go back to that particular course. I think we took it 3 or 4 days back. You can just go there and watch basics of HTML and CSS, and then you can again rewatch this and you can understand what we are doing, because we're going to do very basic thing. And for responsiveness, Rishi, right now, no, we don't need JavaScript. We are not going to need JavaScript. We are simply going to need basics of HTML and CSS. That's it. Okay, not a problem, Nihal. Not a problem. Not a problem. I can see a lot of people saying they know HTML but they don't know CSS. Not a problem. Let's try to understand that. You will understand, because HTML and CSS are very simple. But for all the people who don't know HTML and CSS like at all, you can just go there. Like we took a session about 3 days back. You can just go there and start learning HTML and CSS. We have started from very basics. You can just go there, watch it, and then come here and rewatch it again. Is that clear, everyone? So now let's go ahead and let's start with the session. Okay. So now, as we always do, first of all, we'd like to understand the topic that we are going to learn. Before moving on to the topic directly, just like we do in every session, we're going to open a notepad and we'll try to understand first what we are actually going to learn, like each and every session. Okay. So here we are learning something called, let me just again check my spelling. I'm very bad at it. Okay. Here we are going to learn about responsiveness of websites. Okay. Now, first of all, let's try to understand what exactly is responsiveness of websites. Okay. So now think of it like this. Think of it, you create a website. Okay. You create a web page for a PC version. Like let's say your screen size is like 1366 into 768, like a laptop. Okay. You create a website and it is looking really good. It is looking really great in your particular PC. Now let's say you launch that website and someone opens that exact same website, like someone opens your website in a small mobile phone. What happens then? Because you have made your website according to the PC size and mobile phone, everything will become like everything will look really big. Or maybe you have to zoom it sometimes. If the mobile tries to adjust it, you have to zoom everything to see. Like I hope you remember maybe back in 2014 and 15, when we used to view our websites in mobile phones, we have to scroll right and left to see our things. If you open if you go back in 2013, 14 and 15, and if you open Facebook in a mobile phone, you have to scroll it up and down and left and right just to see all the things together, because Facebook was not made according to the mobile, because at that time Facebook was only made according to the PC. So if you open it in PC, it looks good. If you open it in mobile, everything becomes small, some things become big, and you just have to scroll it here and there to see a few things. You have to zoom it up, zoom it down. You have to do everything to see the content. That means the website was not getting adjusted according to the mobile. And now, if you go and open Facebook on mobile phone, the Facebook in the mobile phone looks completely different than the Facebook in the PC. But it's the same site. It is the same site. You have seen, right, everyone? We know the example, right? If you even open the YouTube in mobile phone, it looks different. Everything gets adjusted according to the mobile phone. Because whatever you create for PC, in PC you have big space, everything is big, right? In mobile phone, you can't adjust things like that. So in mobile phones, you need a different adjustment so that so that your site looks good in mobile phones as well. So how to do that? Like, and that is what you call as responsiveness of websites. Your websites, the same website, looks different in PC and looks different in a mobile phone and looks different in a tablet. They basically change their structure, they change their sizing, they change their alignment adjustment to look good in a particular device. And that's what you call as a responsiveness of website. Your website responses depending on the device size, changes its shape, size, and structure. Is that clear? So that's what we call as responsiveness of website. And that's what we are going to learn today. today and in the next session and in the next session. How to make your websites responsive, how to make a website that looks good in PC, and then how to adjust it back for a mobile phone and how to adjust it again for a tablet. So everyone, are we cleared? So that's basic. See, responsiveness is very simple to understand. So I really hope that you guys understood, because all of you guys use YouTube and Facebook in mobile phones and PCs, and you have seen the same site looks different. Things are adjusted different. Some things are bigger, some things are smaller, some things are not even there. Like there are some things that you see in PC, but you can't see in mobile phones. So they hide something, they show something depending on the device. And that's what we call as responsiveness of a website. And that's what we're going to learn. Okay, so everyone, can we start now? I really hope that you guys understood what exactly is responsiveness. I really hope that you guys understood the concept of it. Okay, so now everyone, can we start? And also, let me just see if I can show you some example. Okay, so let me open a browser window for you first. Okay, here we go. Let me just give you, like, show you some example. So let's go to a site like, let's say, flipkart.com. I hope they have made it responsive properly. Flipkart.com. And now let me just do this. Let's see. There things. Okay, I think I have to switch to mobile view. And let's go for a particular mobile phone. Okay, I think they are using some different technique for this. Maybe they have not made it like that. Maybe. Let me refresh it once. Let it load and let me just refresh it once so that I can show you. I want to actually refresh the page. And here we go. See, now the same site looks different. See, all the things are adjusted differently, and you can see the same site is basically adjusted differently in a mobile phone. See, now we are seeing the same website in a mobile view, and the whole thing is looking different. The adjustment, the styling, the arrangement is different. So that's what you call as responsiveness. Same site looking different in a mobile phone. You can see now the product are adjusted like this. Okay, see, the products are adjusted like into two into two grid, something like that. So everything is looking different. See, and if you like see the same website in a PC again, refresh the page once, and here we go. Now see, everything is different. You can see it, search bar on the top and everything. So that's what responsiveness is. That's it, simply. Okay, so now we are going to learn how to do this from the very basics. Okay, so without using any more time, I really hope that you understood the concept. So let's get started. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's go ahead and create a folder where we'll store our files. Okay, so let's go right click, new folder, and let's name it something like res responsive. That stands for responsive web. So res underscore web, and that's it. Let's open that folder in VS Code. So file. I forgot to. I thought I'm continuing the JavaScript session. So for everyone new here, the editor that we're going to use is VS Code. Okay. For everyone new here, for everyone joining from all the sessions, they know what we're going to use. But for everyone new here, the editor that we're going to use is going to be VS Code. But you can use anything else. If you want, you can use Sublime Text, you can use brackets, you can use Atom, you can use anything. You can use PHP Storm, anything that you want to use. You can just don't use Notepad. That's it. Use any other editor. And the thing that I tell in every session, how to download VS Code for everyone. So you can simply go in Google and search like VS Code download. That's it. Just search for VS Code download. You'll get the first link, download Visual Studio Code. And here we go. Now you have three options depending on your OS, whether you're using Windows or you're using this or using Mac, Linux, Windows. Depending on that, just simply click on your operating system thing and just download it. And just download, double click and install. I really hope that you guys know how to install a basic software. So you might be like, you'll be easily able to install it. So not a problem at all. Vivek is asking, is Sublime Text? Yes, Sublime Text will also do. IntelliJ will also do, Chirag Chingappa. IntelliJ will also do. Sublime Text will also do. Yes, you can also use NetBeans. It's totally fine. With XAMPP server, yeah. See, first of all, here you don't need XAMPP server. But if you want, you can go for it. You can run it with a server. But right now, you don't need it. So you can save time by not using that XAMPP server. You can save some loading time. Okay, so it's totally up to you. Fine. Okay, so any data is fine. And if you're running with a server, it is still fine. Okay. So now that we know the editor that we are using, so for this particular sessions, I'm going to use VS Code. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's take that folder into the VS Code. So file, open folder. It's on desktop. Here we go. RES web, select, and here we go. Now it's opened. Is PyCharm a good editor? Yes, for Python, Rajalakshmi, it's good. Yes, but I think nowadays like VS Code is one of the most famous editors, and it is having a lot of cool extensions, and it is almost supporting all the languages. So I think a lot of people are shifting to VS Code nowadays. So you can also try it out. Like I would suggest you to try it out. But yeah, PyCharm is also good, but I think it is specifically made for Python. Okay. Now guys, let's move ahead. So first things first, let's do a normal thing. Let's create a HTML file. Let's create a CSS file. Okay. Yes, Nitish, Atom is also a good editor. I have used it for some time in the past. So yeah, it is also a good editor. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's create a file named index.html, which will be simply our HTML file. Let's go ahead and let's also create a new CSS file we'll call as index.css. Okay. Sir, which to see know the HTML basics? I don't understand the question, Anar Masami. I don't understand the question, buddy. Okay, let me just increase the font size and let's start writing the basic of HTML and CSS, guys. So let me just write the basics first of HTML, the boilerplate code. HTML. Okay, let me just remove it. Let me directly write the tags. HTML. Inside that, we're going to have a head. Inside that, we'll have a title. Inside title, let's name it responsive web, something like that, or responsive website, whatever you want to call it. And then after head, let's put up a body. Okay, that's it. Now, one more important thing, we have to link our CSS with the HTML, right? That is very important. Otherwise, we won't be able to do the CSS. So we have to link our CSS page with the HTML page so that they can work together. So to link it, what we do, simply use a link tag. So link relation style sheet is obviously there, and href, the file name or file path. So in this case, index.css. And that is it. So now our basic HTML boilerplate code is ready, which is also linked to the CSS, and we have the CSS file as well. So now we can start coding. And I really hope that everyone knows the basics of HTML and CSS, at least how to create a basic div and how to basically style it using CSS. And if you don't, please go back, watch the sessions that we took 4 days ago. There I have explained properly how to use the basics of HTML and CSS and how to write like everything basically in CSS and HTML. So you can go back and watch that thing before like, and you can again come back and rewatch this one. So for everyone. Okay. Now guys, let's move ahead. Use only VS Code. It makes you to write code easily than app. Yeah, that is one thing, Primus. Yeah, that's why I also shifted to VS Code. I find it easier to do everything here. Okay, now guys, let's move ahead. Let's create a simple div. Okay, and now let me check if everyone from the HTML and CSS sessions remember a few things that we learned. So now guys, the time here is for some test. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and basically I'm going to see that if you guys remember the things that we learned in HTML and CSS sessions. Okay, so let's give it a class. Let's give it a class of 1, or let's give it a class of main, something like that. Okay, let's apply some CSS. Repeat what, Pratik? Repeat what, Pratik? What is your doubt, buddy? Can you tell me? Because we haven't started anything yet. So what do you want me to repeat? Okay, so let's go here. Dot main. Let's give it a height of like 400 pixels. Let's give it a width of 100%. And let's give it a background color of red, just to see for now. Let's give it red. Now, guys, I'm going to test you. Okay, let's go. And yes, just let me just take the file path. So right click, copy the path of HTML file, go in the browser, paste it, and here we go. Done. Now, for everyone who is watching from HTML and CSS, you guys tell me, why are we getting this space here around my element? Can you see that? Why are we getting this space? Why everything is not properly adjusted to the whole screen? Why are we getting a space? Everyone, come on, tell me, guys. From everyone, now this is just a test question. This is just a test question for everyone who is watching the sessions from the HTML and CSS basics. Everyone, come on, tell me. I'm waiting for the answers. I can see a lot of familiar names, so I'm expecting the answer. Everyone, come on, guys, tell me. Why are we getting the space here? Yes, I can see the answers now. Yes, it is the default margin of the what? The body, right? So default margin of the body. Okay. Now let's move ahead and let's settle it out. So to settle this, what we normally do, we simply go ahead, put up an asterisk that is like a universal selector, and we say, okay, fine. For all the tags by default, I want all of them to have a margin of 0 pixels. Save it. So now all the elements that I'm going to create, that I have created, all of them will by default have a margin of 0 pixels. So let's see if it is working. And here we go. That's gone now, and my site is now perfectly full width. But we know that there is also one more property that in the future elements can get applied, that is padding. So there are some other elements also that get by default padding, if not margin. So for that safety also, let's simply put padding 0 pixels, because body is having margin, but there are some other elements that can have padding. So everything considered, let's simply put margin 0, padding 0, so that no element will cause any problem in future. And that's it. So now the basics are settled. Okay. Now guys, now there is one thing that you should follow when you're making a website responsive. There is one thing that you should always follow whenever you're making a website responsive. That is always, if not like always, but at least 90% of the times, try to give your width in percentages. Try to give your width in percentages. Is that clear, everyone? Try to give your width in percentages. So here we go. See, I have given it in percentage. What is the, like, you can say, advantage of giving width in percentages? I can see Aniket Sahai Singh CSS, he said not done. Yes, we can't do it because right now not everyone knows what like exactly it is. Right now we're at basics, we're at fundamentals. So we're going to go from like very basic. Let's let everyone understand the basics first, then we'll go ahead. Yes, yes, Pratham, it is from zero level, buddy. It is from zero level. And for everyone, like some people are asking what is padding, what is margin. So for everyone, please go back and just watch the HTML and CSS session again. You'll understand what is margin, what is padding, what is border, and everything. Okay. So guys, always try to give your width in percentages. Almost always. Why? Because whenever you give percentages, the width of an element is always calculated like depending on the size of the parent, depending on the width of the parent. So remember guys, whenever you give width in percentages, the width of an element, okay, my screen share is off, I can see. Is it back now? Paridhi, I think my screen share, now it's fine. Okay. Okay, I also saw it late on YouTube. I'm so sorry guys. Okay. Okay, everyone. Now let's move ahead. Yes, yes. Now I actually saw it. Because I'm also like, just to see your chats, I'm also like watching it on YouTube, right? So yeah, that's why. Okay. So remember, guys, whenever you give width in percentage, the width of an element depends on the size of the parent, the width of the parent. Like for example, see, now in this case, main element is child of the body. Now body's width is like 100%, full width of the screen. So now my main element's width depends on the width of the body. So whenever you give an element a width of 100%, whenever you give an element a width of 100%, okay, it always follows the width of its parent. So if you give me 100%, I'll cover my whole parent. Simple. For example, just to see it properly, let's create one more div inside main. So now we have a child, okay, inside main. So let's give it div class. Let's say we call it child for now, just to see. Save it. Let's go ahead and let's do it. So child width 100%, height 200 pixels, and background color, let's say we give it yellow. So now this yellow one is the child. Okay. Now I have also given it a width of 100%. That means it will cover its whole parent. It will get the full width of its parent, and the parent is who? It's main. So let's see if it is actually working. So let's go in the browser and see. Now you can see yellow element is also taking the full width of the red one. Yeah, that is perfectly fine. Now see, if I go here and if I give it 50, see, it takes 50 of the parent. Now if I reduce the parent, see guys, now it's important. If I reduce the parent, let's say I give parent a width of 70%. Okay. So now see, parent is reduced, so child is also reduced, because child is always getting the width relative to the parent. So I don't care whatever my parent size is. The parent is always 100% for the child. The parent is always 100% for the child. So for the yellow one, this red size is 100%. For the yellow one, the red's width is 100%. And yellow one will take according to the red one. Yellow one will take width according to the red one. And in this case, the red one is taking width according to the body because body is its parent. So always remember how parents are working here. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so that's why you have to always give width in percentages, because if you make your parent smaller, the child will automatically become smaller. So a lot of things will get adjusted by themselves. You don't have to do anything for it. Like for example, see now, if I make the screen small, can you see that the elements are also going small? I'm not doing anything extra for that. I'm simply decreasing the size of my screen, and the elements are also decreasing their size because of the percentage. The yellow one is depending on the red one. The red one is depending on the body, and the body is depending on the screen size. So see, screen size is less, so body size is less. Body size is less, so depending upon that, the red element is taking the 70%. Now see, if body is 100%, so the red element is 70, and this yellow is still 50 of the red one. So that's why we always give percentages. It makes responsiveness much more easier. Is that clear, everyone? Now we didn't do anything. We simply gave width in percentages, and everything is adjusting till now. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, so that's why always try to give width in percentages. Now see, in the same case, if you don't give percentage, let's remove the child for some time. I want to show you something. Okay, let's remove this child for some time and see now. Okay, now see, it's in percentage, so it's getting small depending on the screen size. Okay, now what if I don't give like percentage? What if, let's say I give it width in pixel, let's say 800 pixels. Now I'm not giving width in percentage. Now see what's going to happen. Fine, so now it's 800 pixel. Now see guys, if I make my screen small, the element is not adjusting according to that. See, I get a scroll bar now because the element is not adjusting accordingly. Is that clear? So that's why we always try to avoid pixels while giving width. We always try to use percentages while giving width. So width is one of the most important factors of responsiveness. Width is like the most important, actually not one of the most, it is the most important factor of responsiveness. That's why you have to work with width. Okay, now you can see that's why we don't give pixels, because pixels never get small. They always follow their own width. So even if the screen is small or big, doesn't matter. Okay, so always give it in percentages. And now I really hope that you understood why to give it and how percentages work. So whenever you give percentage, the width of an element will always depend on the parent size, always. And my parent is always 100% for me. So even if he's 70% of someone else, I don't care. He's 100% for me. That's how it works. Okay, then now let's move ahead and let's talk about something else. Okay, so now let's keep our main, remove the child elements, because we have to learn the basics of responsiveness. And again, let's make it 100%. 100%. Here we go. Perfect. So now see, it's always 100%. Now let's go and let's create some elements inside it. Okay, everyone, please focus now. Yes, I am gonna cover media query. Don't worry. Yes, definitely. Media query is like the most important thing when you are like working with responsiveness, right? As a like writing perspective, writing code perspective, media query is important. Without that, you cannot like perform responsiveness. This is like one thing. Okay. Now let's create few childs in this. Okay, so let's give it a class of something like child, or you can like call it anything. Like let's say we give it a class of card, and I want to create 4 cards. Okay, so let's create 4 cards. Here we go. Now let's style the cards. So dot card, only responsive website or how to create website also. Don't worry. In the project session, I'm going to show you how to create the whole web page. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Okay. Now guys, let's move ahead. So card, and let's give the card a height of 200 pixels, or let's increase the size of the main to 500. And let's give it 350. Okay, so height is 350 pixel, Width now, let's say I'm going to give it like 20%, and background color yellow. Okay, save it, and let's see what is happening. Okay, now we have four yellow divs, but they are going in a vertical direction. Now, everyone following me from HTML and CSS sessions, can you guys tell me why they are going in a vertical direction? Again, it's a test question. I'm actually checking you guys who are like for all the guys who are watching from the start. Everyone, why are these four elements going in vertical direction? Everyone, come on. And it's also for the new people. If you know it, you can answer. Why are these yellow divs going in vertical direction? Come on, guys, tell me. Everyone, Jitha. No, we should avoid it. Yashika, yes, you can give height in percentages, but you should actually not give it. You should avoid it. It's not a good practice to give height in percentages. Even if you give, it works, but it's not a good thing. Yes, because these are all a block element, right? So now we can convert them to an inline block, or we can use flexboxing, right? We know that these divs are block elements, so they will by default go in vertical direction. So either we can simply convert them to inline block elements, or we can also give display flex to the parent. So let's use flexboxing. That is much more easier. So let's go in main and just say main display of flex, so that all the childs will be in a line. And here we go, we have it. But the problem is now we don't have gaps. So for gaps, what we can do, we can simply say justify content, let's say space evenly, something like that. And here we go, perfect. And also, to move it a little down, we can say align items, and here we go, perfectly fine. So display flex, and it has adjusted all my elements. So simply go to the parent element and say display flex. It will simply adjust all your elements in the row direction. We have learned it right in the CSS sessions. It will simply adjust all your elements in the row direction. Okay, all the child elements are arranged in row direction. And for the gaps, we have simply given justify content space evenly. So everything is evenly spaced. And the vertical form, I wanted to move it in the center. So for that, align item center. I really hope that everyone is understanding this, because we have already learned flexboxing basics in CSS, right? Guys, we have learned flexboxing basics in CSS. So I really hope that everyone is understanding this. Okay, perfect. Now this is fine. This is perfectly fine. But now let's deal with the real problem. It is fine, it looks good, but it is not responsive. Let's do it. Let's make the screen small. Now you can see when I'm making the screen small, my elements are also going small. So if I come to mobile width, they will look like this. And this is not at all good looking for mobile, right? See, like even if I come here, this is not at all look good in a mobile phone. What if I have like an image in my card, some text in my card, some paragraph in my card? So if I move it like this, if I make this size, see, it's not looking good. My image will be crumbled, it will be compressed, my text will be compressed, it will never look good. That means now we have to rearrange all these elements depending upon the mobile phone. Now I want to rearrange all these elements depending upon the mobile phone. So now how to do that? So now we are going to perform responsiveness, because till now elements are getting short depending on the screen size. Elements are getting small, but it's not looking good at all. So now we have to perform responsiveness. Now we have to tell this particular elements that you have to become responsive. That means you have to change your size, shape, and alignment, arrangement if you get opened in a mobile phone. Like if this is a mobile phone size, I want them to rearrange. So how can I do it? And for that, to tell your elements, everyone please focus now. So to tell your elements that you have to behave differently, because see, if you want to rearrange it, everyone please focus. If you want to rearrange it, if you want to change the size, if you want to change the shape, what do we use for that? We use CSS. But we have already written CSS. We have already written CSS. So how will I write some kind of CSS that will help this when it gets opened in a mobile phone, and it will also help it when it gets opened in like what do you call a desktop? That means I need two kinds of CSS. One that will help it to adjust in a mobile phone. One that will help this to adjust in a desktop. I need two different kinds of CSS. And again, how will I tell my CSS that you have to work for a mobile phone and you have to work for a desktop? How can I do that? And for that, you have something called as media queries. You have something called as media queries. By using media queries, what you can do is you can simply write some like other kind of CSS, and you can say that, okay, fine, this particular CSS should be only applied when this website is open in a mobile phone. This particular CSS will be only applied when this particular website is open in a desktop. So you can use media queries to specify which CSS should be applied for which particular device. Okay, like this. See how to write it. It's very basic. It's very simple. You simply write @media, okay, and then you write screen, and or first of all, let's remove screen. Let's not make it complicated. Let's simply remove screen, @media, and inside this, just put a property called as max width. Okay, and just like put, let's say 400 pixels, something like that. Now, here we go. Now, this here, what you can see is a media query. Now, what is the meaning of this? So now, what you're saying is, fine, @media is basically nothing but your device, is nothing but your screen size. It's your device. So I'm simply saying whenever the device width is 400 pixel, whenever the device's maximum width is 400 pixel. Now minimum can be 0 because I have not mentioned it. So minimum is 0, but maximum is 400. So whenever my device size, whenever my device width is between 0 to 400, apply the CSS that I'm going to write here, because here I'm going to write some CSS code. Okay, so now basically I'm telling my CSS to understand that whenever my device size is from 0 to maximum 400, this CSS should be applied. That's what you do. So again, here you're going to write CSS, nothing else. Here again you are going to write CSS, but now the CSS that you write here will be only applied is the maximum width of the device is 400 pixel and minimum is 0 because we have not mentioned anything. So it's going to be 0, and that's it. This is what you call as media queries. Simple. This is what you call as media queries. To test it, let's do one thing. Let's say dot card. Again, you have to write CSS. So dot card. Let's call it background color blue. Okay. Let's give it a background color blue. That means now, if my device width is less than 400 or equal to 400, the card's background will turn to blue. Let's see if it is actually working. Let's see if it is actually working. So first of all, let's make it normal. Refresh. Now let's go small. Now you can see right now it's 1000. Now it's 700. Now it's 600, 500. We have reached 450, 415. And here we go. See, as soon as I see now it's 408. As soon as I go below 400, see, now it's blue. So that's how it works. So now you have written a CSS that will be only applied when your device size is less than 400, less than or equal to 400. Is that clear, everyone? So that's how this thing actually works. Okay, and now it's up to you. What are the things that you want to change? That's it. See, this is what you call as media query. Now it is up to you. What are the things that you want to change? It's totally up to you. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, are we clear? Please tell me. Everyone, are we clear with this? Are we understanding the basics here? Okay, so now we can always go ahead, define different sizes, and for different sizes, write different CSS, hide few things, show few things, and make our website look different for different sizes of the screen. That's how you do it. So everyone, please confirm me once, are we clear with the basic? So that I can move ahead and we can adjust that thing and we can then learn everything else. Just give me a confirmation, guys. Everyone, are we cleared with this? Okay, that is amazing. Now, first things first. The first thing is, I want all of this element when we have to use colmd3. Vikas Singh Bisht, we are not using Bootstrap. Now see, those are some classes that are created in Bootstrap, right? So when you use Bootstrap, then we have to use that. Here we are not using Bootstrap. See, Bootstrap is nothing but a CSS framework. That means someone else has written CSS for you and you're using it. Here we are learning it from the core. We are not using Bootstrap. By using this, you can make your own Bootstrap because Bootstrap is also made using media queries. So by learning all this, you can actually make your own Bootstrap if you want. Okay, so right now there is no need of it because we are doing something even better than Bootstrap. We are writing our own media queries. Okay, yes, Sripanna, you can do anything. Guys, you can write any kind of CSS. Okay, you're having only one card. Arindam, have you given overflow hidden somewhere? Okay, now guys, the first thing I want to do is I want to go in main and I want to tell it to like wrap. So flex wrap, so that the elements get wrapped. Okay, it's still like this. Okay, now the problem is, see, this flex wrap is not working properly. Like it is working, don't worry about it. But the problem is my elements width is getting small, so they are still getting adjusted. Now what I want to do is I want to increase the size of these elements. Now let me remove this blue so that you can confirm that it's the same element. See, now what I want to do is I want, now see, in mobile phone these small cards will not look good. So what I want is in PC I want them to be like, fine, I want them to be like this in a horizontal direction. But in mobile phone I don't want them to be in horizontal direction. I want them to be in vertical direction. So for that, the one thing you can do is just copy the main. See, by default the direction of flex is row. So what you can do is you can say, okay, fine, main, I want your direction, I want your direction to be column. I want your correct direction to be column. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is still not going ahead. Yes, because of the height, because of the height of the element. If I increase the height of the main element, you will see that it will start working. See, it will start working. But right now we don't need it, so remove it. And one more thing, actually, I don't want to give any height to my element. So let's do one thing. Let's change few things now. Let's change few things. Okay, so let's get back to normal site so that we can. Okay, everyone, let's get back to normal site. Let's remove the height from the main. Okay, now if we remove the height from the main, what will happen? Now the height of the main depends upon the height of the elements. Perfect, that is fine. This is one more thing you have to follow. So now I have removed the height from the parent element. So now the height of the parent element depends upon the child. But now you can see there is no gap on top and bottom. What to do in that case? Not a problem. No need for height. No need of height for that. You can go ahead and add a fake size. Adding top 50 pixel, adding bottom of 50 pixel. So that a fake size of 50 pixel and at the top and the bottom will be added. So here we go. Perfect. Amazing. Fine. Now see, if I go like this, if I go below 400, see, the direction becomes column and elements get arranged in a vertical order. But still there is some problem. And the problem is the width of the elements. The problem is the width of the element. You not use flex direction on desktop because by default, Sumedh, the direction of flexbox is row. So the flex direction is by default row. That's why they got adjusted like this, right, Sumedh? So the direction of flex is by default row. So you don't have to put direction there. If you only want to change it, then use flex direction. Otherwise, the by default direction is row. So that's why in that case, we didn't need it. Now guys, see, I have changed my flex direction to column and they are all vertically arranged. But the problem is now the width is small. So we can also change that. We can say, okay, fine. For this particular thing, what I want is for mobile phones, I want the card's width to be 90%. So on the top, they are like 20%, but for mobile phone, I want you guys to be 90%. So now you can see they are taking the 90% of the width. But as soon as they go in mobile, sorry, desktop, they are just like this. And then when you go like this, see, their widths change according to mobile phone. So for desktop, their width is 20%. For mobile phone, their width is 90%. And that's how you simply do it. Is there one card now? No, there are still 4 cards. It's just there is no gap. So if you want, you can also tell them, okay, fine, I want you guys to have a margin bottom maybe. So margin bottom of like 10 pixels in mobile phones. Here we go. Now they have the margin bottom. So now it is perfectly adjusted. You can see that. See, now they behave like 4 cards. And if I go like this, they go like this. See, Can you see that, everyone? So guys, are we understanding this? So in mobile phone, they will look like this. Cards are arranged vertically. And in desktop, they will look like this. Right? Is that cleared, everyone? Please tell me, guys, are we cleared? So if I have to put a photo which has to be my background and it's not coming complete, then what should I do? Try to adjust the width of the photo, Karthik. Just give the photo a width of 100%. In that case, yeah, it will like at least cover the width. But we always try to take a good picture depending on the size. But if you have like taking any random photo, it might be like bigger in size. So for that, you can give width 100% first, so that at least width wise the photo will be perfectly there. How do we know what value to set max width? Don't worry, Venkat, that is already available on internet. If you simply go on internet and search for breakpoints. Now see guys, these things here are called as breakpoints. These thing here, this width that you have mentioned here is called as breakpoint. Why breakpoint? Because this is a point where your site starts breaking like this. See, till this time site is still same. Till this time site is still same. As I reach 400, the site breaks. The changes happen. So that's why these points are also called as breakpoints. So what you can do is if you want to like learn about it, you can simply go on internet and search like, okay, fine, I want all responsive breakpoints. So it will give you the breakpoint for tabs. That is always 1024 and 720. Then for mobiles, it's almost like 320 and 480, something like that. Okay, so you can remember it, or you can also work, because see, all devices have different sizes, but these are some general breakpoints. So you can just go on internet, search for breakpoints, you'll get all the list of it. Okay, it's like globally like understood, everyone uses same. But yeah, few people use different breakpoints depending on the needs. Okay, so guys, that's how you adjust it. Now you guys help me. Now let's say we go around 1024. Let's say we are at 1024. Okay, now this is the tablet size. Okay, this is desktop size, this is mobile size, and let's say this is tablet size. Okay, and for tablet, what I want is, I want two in a row. I want two in a row. What can I do, guys? For tablet, I want two in a row. Okay, Aditya Dev, see, first of all, actually screen is not needed. See, when you don't know the minimum width, at that time, you use screen. Okay, fine. Consider this as my minimum width and consider this as my maximum width. So actually, there is no need of using screen. Even if you don't use it, it works. I personally don't use it. A lot of people use it. So basically, screen is, you use screen when you don't know the minimum width or the maximum width. For example, if I'm putting maximum width, my minimum is 0. In this case, my minimum is 0. So I can just put screen there. If I'm giving some minimum width and I don't know the maximum part, now it's infinite, but I can put screen there if I want. So screen, you put it basically when you don't know the minimum width or the maximum width. Right now, actually, there is no need of it. So if you want, you can actually remove it. Personally, I don't use it. So you can keep it short and simple without using screen. Okay, is that clear, Aditya? So actually, there is no need, but you can use it you're like, if you don't know the minimum width or the maximum width and you want to mention something, you can go for the screen part. Okay, now guys, I wanted like your guys help. Now I want to write some CSS for tablet. Okay, and the width I am considering here is 1024. So what can I do, guys? Come on, tell me. The width I'm considering here is 1024. So how should I write it? Let's say here I go ahead and write media queries for mobile, and let's just go in the same file and write media queries for, okay, spelling mistake there, queries for tablet, like that. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead. First things first, you have to mention the screen size. So media, and the max width I want to assume here is going to be 1024 pixels. Okay, and then let's go. First of all, let's see if it is working. Okay, so let's go ahead, dot card, background color green. Okay, let's see if it is actually working. Yep, it is working. For tablet, we have green, so it is actually working. Okay, now what I want is here, we don't want to do this. I simply, what you can go is you can simply say width of 40%, and here we go. And also give a margin bottom of 20 pixel, and that's it. Sorted. That's it. Sorted. Done. See, now you have two like this, four things like this. So for PC, it's like this. For tablet, it's like this. And for mobile phones, it's like this. So I have same thing working differently or behaving differently or looking differently for three different screen sizes. So in PC, all four in one line. For tablet, we have 2 by 2 grid. For mobile phone, we simply have everything arranged horizontally, sorry, vertically. Simple. And actually, I feel you don't need this flex direction. You can remove it because you're increasing the width, right? Anyway, it will go down. So actually, there is no need of flex direction. Anyway, it will go down. So you don't need the flex direction, I feel. See, you don't need it. It is still going perfectly fine. You actually don't need the flex direction because if you increase the width, so there is no space left. So the other element will definitely go down. So actually, there is no need of flex direction. You have removed one more thing. So now all the complexities are gone. So for mobile phone, width 90, margin top bottom 10. For tablets, width 40, margin bottom 20, so that we can have gap. You can also give 10 here so that you can like follow a formality like that. Here we go. See, desktop, tablet, mobile phone. Is that cleared, everyone? Guys, please tell me, are we cleared? Everyone, I want every one of you to answer. I want every one of you to answer. Please tell me, guys, are we understanding the basics here? Once you understand this, there is nothing else. Because see, in responsiveness also, you're just writing CSS. There is nothing else to learn here. You simply have to understand the breakpoints. You simply have to understand the device width. Other things are CSS. See, all these things you know. You know what is width. You know what is margin bottom. You know what is width. You know what is margin bottom. The only thing that is new for you is this. But everything else is like simple. Everything else is just normal CSS that you already know. So actually, when you talk about responsive, there is nothing much to learn. You're still writing CSS, but for different screen sizes. That is it. Okay, that's amazing. Sir, is it only considered inside media query parent parameter? Uh, yes. If I'm understanding your question, yes, you're correct. Yes. If you like mention it like this, yes, this CSS will be only considered under this particular sizing. Yes, Sarma. Main CSS, it's this one that I have written normally outside. It's working for the desktop. Okay. Sumedh Sanjay is asking what is flex basis. Flex basis is just like width. It's simply width in flexboxing. Is that clear? Can we make Bootstrap responsive? Yes, Murugesh. Yes. Bootstrap. See, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is nothing but someone else has written a lot of media queries for you already. A lot of CSS and media queries for you already. And you're directly using the class names. That is what is Bootstrap. And we are not using Bootstrap. We are learning the things that are used to make Bootstrap what it is today. You're learning the basics, the core, the important things. By understanding all of this, you can make your own Bootstrap if you want. A lot of people in this world, they make their own styling framework by using media queries. And you can also make that. And if we get time, I'll show you at least how to do that things, how to make your classes and everything so that you can use it anywhere and reuse the things. I'm going to show you that as well if we get time. Okay. Now, guys, let's move ahead. Okay. And by using all the things that we have learned here, let's try to make a responsive navigation for today. Everyone, can we try that so that we can understand it better? So let's try to make a responsive navigation by using all of this. Is that cleared? Sir, is PHP expired? No, nope, not at all. Nitish is asking, sir, can you explain flex? Yes, buddy, I can. But see, what you can do is one thing, Nitish, I suggest you, please go back and just watch the previous sessions if you want. Because see, if I start it here again, we'll use a lot of time understanding flexboxing. So what you can do is just go ahead and watch the last day of HTML and CSS essentials. I have explained the whole flexboxing there. Okay, Nitish, you can do that, right? So just go ahead. 3 days back, I took a lecture of CSS basics, and there I explained everything about flexboxing. Okay, so everyone, can we create a responsive navigation from whatever we have learned? Do you want that right now? And you'll understand how easy it is actually. So everyone, are we good to go? Can we do that? I want answers, guys. Come on. Let's create a simple navigation, like simple responsive navigation that looks differently in PC and that looks different in mobile phones by using whatever we've learned, and you'll understand how easy it is. So can you teach grid? What's the difference between a grid and a flex? Yes, Arjun. Yes, definitely. I'm planning like for grid in the next session. So I'm planning for that. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's move ahead and let's create a responsive navigation. Okay. So I'll keep this file so that if I share with you, you'll have this sample. Okay, I'll keep this file. So if I share all this with you, you'll have a sample. Now let's create some different files. Okay. So let's go and let's call it navbar, or let's call it project.html, something like that. You can call it whatever you want. Or for now, let's call it navbar. I want to like keep it as a sample. So let's call it navbar.html. Okay, and let's create one more thing, navbar.css. Okay, now let's link both of them. How to align them horizontally center. Aditya is asking, I always struggle with flex wrap as they lead to some space on the right side. How to align them horizontally? See, Aditya, if you're using flex wrap, it's not a problem. It adjusts everything perfectly. You have to use justify content to align your elements horizontally in that case. So always use justify content properly. In that case, you can like adjust your things horizontally if the flex direction is row. Okay. Okay, guys. Now let's move ahead. So doc type HTML. HTML. Inside HTML, you have a head. In that, you'll have a title. Let's call it responsive nav bar. Let's link the CSS. So link, what is it? Navbar.css. So navbar.css. And then React is also used in an Android development. It's not React, it's actually React Native. Sri Prasanna. It's actually React Native, buddy. Exactly, it's almost like React, but it's not. We don't use HTML or JSX there. It's a different it's a different component language. They are called as React Native components. But yes, the concept of React are exactly same. So it's not React, it's called React Native. Okay, guys. Now let's move ahead. So now we have it. We have linked the CSS, and let's do the basics there as well. So what is the difference between align items and justify element? See, the difference between justify align items and justify content is justify content works with the main axis, align items works with the cross axis. Is that clear, Saurabh? So justify content works with the main axis, align items work with the cross axis. Okay. So let's go margin 0 pixel, adding 0 pixel. Save it, and let's start creating a responsive nav bar. So for that, first of all, let's create a div. Let's give it a class of like nav bar, or let's call it header. Everyone, please focus on all the things. Please, guys, focus on all the things. You'll understand everything. It's going to be really easy. Okay, it's just like HTML and CSS. So let's give it a height of 60 pixels, or let's not give any height at all. Let the height of this depend upon the children. Okay, so let's not give any height at all. Right now, let's simply give padding. So let's give it a padding top 10 pixel and padding bottom of 10 pixel. No height at all, and width 100%. Also background color gray. Okay, see, Sovik, that's what I'm telling. For everyone who are asking about flexboxing, see, it was not planned for this session. So actually, I have already covered that thing in the last day of CSS Essentials. So you guys can go there and watch that session. I have completely cleared what is flexboxing and what is justify content, what is main axis, what is cross axis. So you guys can go on the third day of that session. I have explained perfectly there what is main axis, cross axis, justify content, and align items, everything. Okay. So you can just go there, because if I start doing that here, then we're going to use a lot of time and we'll be unable to make our project. So like this whole thing is coming in a line, right? So what you can do is you can just go back there and watch it once. Okay. Okay, guys, now let's move ahead. So let's see if we have this header. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry for that. But we still have to save time, right, buddy? Okay. So now Let's copy the path. And here we go. Okay, now we have a div. Why we have an element, header element, which is simply having a padding top of 10 pixel, padding bottom of 10 pixel, and there is no height to it. So if you want, you can see it here. See, it's only okay. Where is my element? Here we go. See, we only have padding. There is no height to it, only width, and we only have padding. You can see that, right, guys? We only have the padding, that is the fake size. That means now the height of the header element depends upon the child element. So let's go and create the child elements. So inside that, the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a container. Okay, I want to create a container. And let's go give it a dot container, a width of 70%, height of 60 pixel. Or actually, I don't want to give it any height as well. But for now, let's give it 60 pixel so that you can see it at least. And background color of red. Here we go. We have the container. Now I want the container to move in center. So for that, what we can do? We can go to header and first of all tell it to have a display of flex, and then justify content center. Yes, Venkat, I know that, buddy. I know that I can use live server, but I don't personally prefer live server. I always like to refresh everything, whatever I do. Yes, but we can do that. Yes, if you guys want, you can use live server. It's totally fine. Okay, now guys, that's done. We have our the container in the center. Now inside this, I want to create two things. I want to create my logo. I want to create my navigation. So let's do that. And also, I want to increase the width a little bit more, like 80%. Okay, perfect. So it's 80%. Now here I can put my logo, and here I can put my navigation part. So let's go ahead. Inside this, I want to create a div for logo. So div class logo. Let's put anything in that. So let's simply put like what do you say? What we can name it? Let's call our website what we can call it. I don't know. Let's call it Vacom, something like that. It's a company that creates writing tools, pen tablets, and everything. So let me just write it. Okay, you can call it anything. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Dot logo, width of 10%. You can see I'm giving all my width in percentages so that you can perfectly adjust everything, right? Yes, Srinivas, we know that, buddy. But to learn Bootstrap is actually created using media queries, right? So we are learning that thing, right, Srinivas? So yeah, Bootstrap is better because you don't have to write anything there. You just have to use classes. But we are learning the thing that is actually needed to create something like Bootstrap, so that in future, if Bootstrap doesn't help, if whatever Bootstrap is doing, you don't want that, you can still write your own things, right, Srinivas? So if you use Bootstrap, Bootstrap is not going to do everything. You'll get some kind of theme. But what if you want to do something of your own? What if I don't like one thing that Bootstrap is providing and I want to change it? In that case, I definitely have to learn how to make my own things, right? Okay. Now, guys, let's move ahead. Venkat, you can definitely go and use header tag. That's perfectly fine. If you want, instead of using div, I'm like right now using div, but if you want, you can definitely go and use header tag. It's not going to do anything, right? It's just for it's just like for naming convention. It's just a good practice, but it's at the end creating the same thing, right? So yeah, if you want, you can definitely use header tag, but it is not going to do anything else. It's still going to create a section for you. That's it. But yeah, according to the naming convention, according to good standards for readability, yeah, definitely use a header tag. But it's just like div. It's simply going to create a section, right? Okay, Venkat. I hope you understand, buddy. See, it is still creating the same thing, right? Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's move it. So height of 60 pixels, width of 10%, and let's give it a background color of yellow. Okay, now we have this logo part here. And now let's go ahead and I want to increase the width a little bit more. So let's give it like 15% like that. Okay, now let's go. Font size 40 pixels. Okay, font weight, bold, and line, center, and one more thing, font family. So font family, Cjo UI. You can use any font family that you like. Here we go. So now we have the Wacom there. Now you can use any image. Like, of course, you can use the image here if you want. I'm simply using text just to save some time. But if you want, you can use image. Definitely, it's totally fine. Okay. So now, guys, the logo part is done. Now I want to create my navigation part. Okay. So let's go ahead and just after the logo, and let me just comment out few things like, okay, logo area, so that it's easier for us to understand. Okay. Now here we have the nav area. Now again, guys, for navigation, you can either use a div or following the good semantics and standards, you can use a nav tag, which is again going to create the same thing. It's simply going to create a box at the end. But yeah, if you're following good semantics and everything, use a nav tag. For good readability, okay, use a nav tag instead of a div tag. But you can also use a div tag. It's totally fine. Not wrong to use it. Okay. So nav class, let's give it a class of nav. Nav, a width of 50%, a height of exactly same 60 pixels, and a background color of, again, let me give it like yellow. I can see I have two yellow divs. One is at the bottom. So guys, everyone tell me, what can I do to adjust them side by side? Again, they are going vertical. So what can I do to adjust them side by side? I hope everyone knows it. Just go to the parent and simply give it display of flex. And here we go. Now they are side by side. And one more thing, I want gap between them. So for that, justify content space between. So that will have a gap between this. And here we go. Venkat, it's not like that, but it's up to me actually, right? There is no, it's not like that there is no need. I like it always is the personal preference. Now it's not a semantic. Giving class names, it's also a personal preference, right? So like I personally prefer to give all the class names. I don't like to use tags directly in my, what do you call, CSS. Is that clear? But yeah, if you want, you can directly use the nav tag. Definitely. But what if in future, if I'm creating multiple navigations in my website, then I can't use nav tag, because what if I want to apply different things everywhere? What if I'm creating a bottom navigation, a top navigation, a sidebar navigation? In that case, I have to give class, right, Venkat? Okay. Now, guys, let's go and create all the navigation links inside it. And also, I think the width is a little too much. It should not be 50. 40 is fine for now. Here we go. Perfect. Now let's create 4 navlink inside that. And for that, I'm going to use UL and li. So to UL, I'm going to give a class of nav-parent. And inside this, I'm going to create lis, to which I'm going to give a class of nav-link. Okay, now let's write something like home. Let's do 4 things. So let's say home, about, contact, and what else we can have? What else we can have? We can have a feedback, something like that. Here we go. Perfect. We have all of it, but it's like a normal ULLI. You can see that. Currently, it's like a normal ULLI. We have to adjust it. Currently, it's like a normal unordered list. So let's adjust it. So the first thing is I don't need that dots. I don't need that bullet dots. So let's go and write fine. Navlink, that is the LI's class. I want your list dash style dash type to be none, because by default it's disk. So you can see that dot there, right? It's not a dot, it's a disk actually. It's not called a dot. In unordered list, that dot is considered as a disk. So I want none. Here we go. That's gone. Now I'm going to go to the UL, that is the parent. The class is nav-parent, and I want to tell it to have a display of flex, so that all the LIs go in a horizontal direction. Perfect. Now they are in a horizontal direction. Now I also want to give them width and height. So now there are 4 elements, right? 4 elements, and I want all 4 of them to fill the complete parent. So guys, what is the width I should give? Come on, guys, tell me. What is the width I should give to a single li so that all the li's completely cover the parent? Come on, everyone. In percentage, what width should I give to a single li? Come on, tell me, guys, everyone. What width should I give to a single element so that it can cover the whole parent? And I think the chart's a little late, so everyone, come on, tell me. I'll wait for your answer. I'll wait for your answer. I'll not do anything till time you'll get answer. You're gonna give me the answer. I'm gonna wait. I can see padding. No, actually, there is no need of padding here. There is no need of padding. 20%. I have 4 elements and I want to cover it completely without spaces. Yes, we need 25%. So let's go ahead and let's give the li's a width of 25% and a height exactly same like 60 pixels. Also, let's give them background color so that we can see if it is actually working. So let's give background color of green. Now the whole yellow thing should be covered in green, and that if we see that thing, that we are sure it's perfectly adjusted. Here we go. The whole yellow is perfectly covered with green, and that's perfect. Now let's adjust the text. So text align center, first thing. I also want to adjust it vertically, my text. So for that I can use line height. So line height exactly same as the element height, so that the text will adjust in center vertically. Here we go. And then font family, again I'm going to use the same one, CJUI. You can use any good better font than this if you want. And also I'm going to increase the font size like 19 pixels. It's too much actually, it should not be 19. Let's give 18. Yep, it is fine. Now if you want, you can remove comment out the green so that you won't see the green. So now you have the yellow, but we'll keep it. We will keep it just to perform the responsiveness. At the end, we'll remove all the bad colors. But right now, let's keep it so that when we perform responsiveness, we can understand how things are getting adjusted. Is that clear? Right now, we want to understand how things are adjusting. So we'll keep it. Okay. Now, guys, if we want, we can remove the size, height of the nav, right? We can remove the height of the nav. Why? Because nav's child is nav link, right? So if nav link is 60 pixel, we can remove the height of the nav, because depending on the child's height, the nav's height will be defined. So we don't have to give any height to the nav. It will still be perfect. Don't worry, it will still be perfect. If you want to see it, let me increase the width. Sorry, let me decrease the width. See, the yellow one is still perfect, same height as the child. So we don't have to give any height to that. Fine. So let's again give it 25, so that in future, if I increase the height of the li's, if I decrease the height of the li's, the nav's height will increase and decrease accordingly. You don't have to take care of the height. Okay. Logo is child of header, right? So if I give height as 100%, it will still be 60 pixel, right? Yes, Ashka, that will definitely work. That will definitely work. Okay. But here, see, if I start giving height in percentages, see, whenever you use percentage, the first thing is you're depending on your parent. When we work with height, we want to depend on our child elements, not on the parent. Width wise, we want to depend on parent. Height wise, we always try to depend on the child. If I start giving percentages, then what if I want to remove the height from the parent? So if I remove the height from the parent, the child will also become 0, right? Is that cleared? Are we cleared? Guys, are we cleared with this? So that's why we are doing it. That's why we don't use percentages for height, because in the height system, we want to depend on the child, because if the content grows, if the child grows, I want my parent to increase the size. So we depend on the child, not on the parent. But if we use percentages, we know that then in that case we depend on the parent. Is that clear? Now, like, see here. Now the height of my, what do you say, nav. Let me just do this. See, I want to show you something. Let me decrease it to 20. See, everyone, please focus now. Please focus. I'll explain you that. See now, the height of my green element, that is the li, is what? Is 60 pixel. And depending on that, the yellow element is also having 60 pixel. That is my nav. Now see, if I decrease the height of nav link to like 40, see, okay, it's flexboxing, so it is like actually taking full width. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it is actually flexboxing. That's why it's working like that. Let me just remove the flexing for some time. I want to show you that. Okay, let's not do it here because there is a lot of flexbox. So let me just do one thing to show this. Let me create something else because I seriously want to show you this. So in this case, it's flexboxing. So it will not matter at all. It will only matter if we grow it. To show you this, let me create something else. See now. Let's give it a div class parent, something like that. Everyone, please focus. I actually want to show you why we don't give height in percentages. I want to show you. Okay, let's go here. Dot parent height of 300 pixels, width of 300 pixels, the background color of blue. Here we go. We have the parent, right? Now let's create a child element inside it. So div. We are not going to do everything there because if we do, then we are going to like what is the hamper everything else because it's flexboxing. So let's go ahead and let's give it child class. Now focus everyone, you'll understand. Child, give it a height of 200 pixels and also a width of 200 pixels and give it a background color of, let's say, yellow green, something like that. Now see, okay, now we have something like this. Now see, what if I remove the height of the parent? Now the height of the parent depends upon the height of the child. Now if in future, if I increase the size of the child like this, the size of the parent also increases. See, I increased the size of this yellow green element, the size of the blue element also got increased, right? But if we want to give a height in percentage to this child, that means in that case, the parent should have some height already. But normally we don't want that because when we make responsive sites, sometimes our child will be adjusted in horizontal manner, sometimes our child will be adjusted in vertical manner, and I want my parent to adjust accordingly. So I want my parent to depend upon the child in terms of height. In terms of width, our child depends upon the parent. In terms of height, our parent depends upon the child, almost in all the cases. Is that cleared? Why we are not using Sass instead of CSS? Karan, because we are learning CSS, buddy, right? We are learning CSS. That's why we are not using Sass. Because to go for Sass, first you should know CSS. Right, buddy, Karan? We never go for Sass before learning CSS, right? Is that cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared with this now? Are we understanding this? Okay, that's why in height wise we always give height to the last child so that all the parents will depend upon it, and parents will grow. If child increases or child decreases, if we add some more childs, the parent will grow accordingly. That's why we avoid giving height to parents so that they can grow properly. Okay, now let's remove it. Okay, and actually, yes, I also want to remove the height from the container. So I also want to remove the height from the container. So let's go ahead and remove the height from the container, because now the container height will depend upon the logo. So we don't have to worry about it. Logo has height, right? That means now my gray element is not having any height. My red element is not having any height. The red element's height is depending upon the logo, and this yellow element's height is depending upon the green element, that is the li. That means all my last childs are having height, but my parents are not having any height. So if in future I adjust my elements, I increase the size of my child elements, the size of parents will increase or decrease accordingly. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's make it full width again. Actually, I want to show you why I'm doing this, why I'm removing all the height. So now let me just, yeah, let's again turn it back to 25 so that we can cover everything. So basically it's like this. My logo has a height, right? Because of the logo's height, the container is getting some height, and because of the container's height, the gray element is getting some height. That's the whole concept here. That's the whole basic understanding. What I'm like, what I want you guys to understand. Okay, so now the basic navigation is done, guys, and now what I want is I want to make this responsive. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's make it responsive, and I'm not going to remove all these bad colors because I want to keep this so that if I start making changes somewhere, you can properly identify where I'm making changes. Okay, so let's move it to the mobile part now. Let's go to the mobile. Now see, currently in mobile, it's not at all looking good. Let's consider 450 or mobile size for now. So now in mobile, it's not at all looking good. You can see that, right? In mobile, it is not at all looking good. So let's go ahead and let's start adjusting it. So let's write, and now you'll understand the better why we have not given height to the parents. Now you'll understand that better. So let's go ahead and put @media, max width 450 pixels. Yes, yes, I'll use hover to, don't worry. Okay. Now guys, let's write some CSS. So now what I want to do is, see guys, everyone, now see what I'm going to do. So now the first thing is, I want to adjust my elements in a vertical order. I want to adjust my elements in a vertical order. Okay. First of all. So let's go ahead and let's increase the size of the logo. The first thing. Okay. So what I want is, okay. And one more thing, wherever I have given display flex to the container, I want to add flex wrap. Flex wrap, so that elements get wrapped accordingly. And also in my nav link here, flex wrap. And that's it. Now guys, see what I'm going to do. So first things first, I'm going to say the logo. Fine, logo. I want you to take a width of 100% if you're opening it in mobile. So if I'm opening this site in mobile, I want the logo's width to be 100%. Now let's see what is happening. Here we go. Now logo's width is 100%. That means it's covering the whole container. Now guys, can you see the height of my red element and the height of my gray element got increased? Can you see that, everyone? That's why we are not giving any height to the parent, because I want them to be increased if I rearrange my child elements. Now see, I rearranged it, right? Now my logo is on the top and my navigation is at the bottom. And depending on that, my red element got increased and the gray element also got increased. Is that clear, everyone? This is what I want. If they are side by side, it's like this. If they are one below each other, the height automatically gets increased. Is that cleared, everyone? Are we cleared, guys? Please tell me, are we cleared? So this is why we normally avoid giving heights to parents, right? So that we can make them properly responsive. So guys, are we cleared now? Please tell me, everyone. I want everyone to answer. Now, let's go ahead and let's also tell our nav link. Fine, nav link. I also want you to have a width of 100%. Here we go. Yeah, like this. And also to the nav, I also want you to have a width of 100%. Here we go. See, everything adjusts perfectly. The red element also got increased and the gray element also got increased, and everything is perfectly fine. And also to my container. Okay, fine. Container. Where is my container? Okay. Container. I also want you to increase your size. So I want you to have a width of 90%. Like so. Here we go. Like this. Right? So perfectly. And now, if you want, you can remove the colors and everything. And at the end, everything will look good. So if you want now, you can remove the colors, you can put some backgrounds, and everything at the end will look definitely good. Okay. And now if you want, you can remove the padding that we were using from the start. Actually, we don't need it. So let's remove the padding so that we don't have that extra gap on the top and bottom. And here we go, like this. And if you want, again, you can say the container, okay, fine. For mobile phones, I want you to take the full width. So here we go, no gray gaps. And the navigation goes like this. See, so this is what I wanted for mobile phone. Now for PC, it's still same. For mobile phones, it's like this. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so this is what we wanted to do. How does the flex direction got column automatically? No, it's not getting column. We increase the width and we have a flex wrap. So basically, if we increase the width and if there is no space at the end, the next thing goes to the bottom. So we are not doing any flex direction here. We have a flex wrap. So if any element, so my element size is 100%. So there is no space for the next element. So the next element is coming down. It's wrapping down. So that's what flex wrap is doing. You don't need flex direction column here. Okay, and now guys, change the colors. It's totally up to you, whatever you want. So let's make it like light gray. You want? and remove the yellow from this logo. Here we go. Remove the red from the container. And let's give navigation. Where is navigation? Remove the yellow from it. Remove the green from it. Here we go, like this. And if you want, you can give some borders here. Definitely some borders. So you can go ahead and give some borders like border 1 pixel. Okay, only on top and bottom, not on left and right. So border hyphen top 1 pixel solid gray. And also in bottom, I want a border. So I also want a border bottom. Same 1 pixel solid gray. So border bottom 1 pixel solid gray. Save it. Here we go. Now we have borders. I think 1 pixel is too much actually. Let's not have border bottom actually. We don't need it. Let's only have border top. Yep, it goes like this. So you can I decrease it? Let's go for like 0.5 pixel. Let's see if it is available. No, but it's not. We have to give 1. If you want, you can keep it. If you don't want, you can remove it. I don't like the borders actually. Let me remove it. Actually, we can go for box shadow. Let's go for box shadow of borders. So box shadow 0, 0, 1 pixel gray. Perfect. Now we can see it and it's still looking proper. And also I want to decrease the size of navigation to like 40. I don't want 60. No, it's too much. And also line height. Yeah. No, 50 was fine. Not 60, but 50 is still fine. Like this. Yeah. Here we go. You can have it like this. And if you want, also remove the text line center for the mobile phone. For in PC, keep the text line center. In mobile phones, oh yes, I changed it at the wrong place. I changed it at the wrong place. So sorry, so sorry. Actually, we want to do these things for mobile phone, right? Let's do it here. Where is my mobile phone? Yep, I'm so sorry. Do it here because we don't want it in the PC, right? And also the change. I want to keep it 60 for PC. 60. Sorry, so sorry for that. Come to mobile phone. Give it here. Line height. Oh, wow. Line height 50 pixels and height, because I want these things to only apply in mobile phones. So give it here. Perfect, fine. Okay, and also text align towards left. I don't want you to be in center in mobile phones. Here we go. And I also want a little gap. So for that, I can have like text indent of 30 pixels. Here we go, like this. So you can have something like this. Now see, in mobile phone, it's like this. In PC, it's like this. So in PC, perfect, proper navigation. And in mobile phone also, it's perfect, proper navigation. Is that cleared, everyone? Text getting overlapped when decreasing page width. Yes, it will overlap. You have to increase the size, right, Devang? You have to increase the size of the element so that the text don't get overlapped. You have to increase the width. You have to increase the width and height of the element. Is that clear? So guys, are we clear with this? So now we have made a very simple responsive navigation by just using HTML and CSS. What mean text indent? It's just a space from the border. It's just a gap between the border and the start of the text. Is that clear, Nico? You can see we have a gap, right? We have a gap here. See, if I just go to that text, if I go to that LI, you can see. Why I'm seeing parent and child here? Okay, here we go. See. So if I decrease the text indent, see what happens. The text is going back. So it's basically the gap from the border in the text. So you can simply change it if you want accordingly. If you want 18, you can like also keep 18. 30 is too much, keep 18. Simple indentation, normal indentation. That's it. So everyone, are we cleared? Guys, please tell me. Everyone, are we cleared with this? So that's it. See, so responsiveness actually was all about this. That's it. Everything else, we already know it because that is nothing but CSS. It is nothing but CSS. So everyone, please tell me, are we clear with everything that we did today? Please guys tell me, because we are already like out of time now. So I want to make sure everyone, are we cleared? So you saw, right? Responsiveness is not that tough. It's simple. You only have to take care of this media query. Everything else is just CSS. So if you know HTML and CSS, responsiveness is actually nothing for you, because you're still writing CSS just for a different size. That's it. And actually I saw a lot of people who were here without like having any previous knowledge about HTML and CSS. So I would suggest all of them, please, 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 guys, just go 3 days back. 3 days back, we took a session of CSS Essential, and there I explained all about Flexboxing, HTML, and CSS. So please, everyone, just go back, watch that session, and come here and rewatch it again. You'll find all of these things easy. And for all the people who were already following from that, I really hope that you guys understood everything. Yes, Ananya, I am going to share this code. So I want every one of you to join the group. So Jyotsna, can you please put the group link in the chat? Paridhi, Jyotsna, can you please put the group link in the chat? So please guys, put the group link in the chat, and everyone, the group link will be in the chat. You just have to link, press on that, just click on that link, go on the particular page, register yourself, and that's it. You'll be in that group. And then whatever I do here, I'm going to share on that group. Whatever assignment questions I have, I'm going to share on that group. So don't worry, everything will be there. So the assignment question and the files that I created here today will be posted in that group, guys. So I want all of you to join that group. Everyone, please, please, please join that group. Okay. Isha, can you please post what you say, the group link of the responsiveness site, responsive development, responsive web design group link? Isha, Varuna, can you guys please post the link, the group link in the chat? Can you guys hear me, Isha, Varuna? Is React Bootstrap framework built with Flexbox or combination of Flexbox and Grid? I think it's a combination of Flexbox and Grid, Preeti. I think it's a combination of Flexbox and Grid. Dhruvesh is asking, sir, what is the day 3? Day 3 assignment of JS was to create the exact same thing that I created, the to-do list. Is that clear, Dhruvesh? Day 3 assignment of JS was to create the exact same thing. Paridhi, are you there in the background? Can you hear me? Okay, guys, let me get the link for you. Paridhi, are you there? Paridhi, Jyotsna, Isha. Anyone in the background? Please share the group link in the chat, guys. And don't worry, guys. See everyone. Tomorrow now we have a holiday, because we have Ganesh Chaturthi, one of the biggest festivals, okay, in India. So tomorrow we have a holiday, and then after that, on the next day, we have one more session for responsive web design, and in that we are going to create a completely responsive website with navigation and animations and everything. Okay, so I think it's going to be on Friday, right? So tomorrow, guys, we don't have any. Okay, I think tomorrow is Friday. Okay, on Saturday. So sorry. So tomorrow on Friday we have a holiday, and then simply on Saturday we're going to have one more session exactly at 6 o'clock, and there I'm going to teach you how to make a completely responsive website. We're going to create a complete web page that is going to be responsive by using flex boxes and everything that we have learned today. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, so are we cleared? So everyone, now before going, tell me, did you guys enjoy the session? Did you guys learn something new? Everyone, please tell me. And guys, the assignment question and all the files that we have created here today will be shared in the group. Okay, so please register to the sessions, and also please join the group so that you can find all the files and all the assignments that I post there. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so everyone, did we enjoy the session, guys? Please tell me. And on Saturday we're going to create a complete responsive web page. So don't worry, we're going to create everything on Friday. I'm going to also show you how to create hamburger menu, everything. Okay, okay, guys, so that's it for today, everyone. That's it for today. Okay, thank you so much for joining in, guys, and I'll see you directly on Saturday at 6 o'clock, everyone. So bye, everyone. Good night. See you on Saturday, everyone. Bye bye. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Bye bye, everyone.